Arsyn, good evening, brother. Good morning.
That's
You
good
woke up
morning.
for
Yeah,
me.
good morning. I did wake up for you, but to be fair,
Oh, don't. Yeah, go
my
ahead.
schedule has changed quite a bit.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's bullshit, dude. I
No,
still
it
see
is. Listen, let me tell you a little story real quick. I used to wake up at like 5 p.m., shower, get on and stream at 6. That was the schedule. I'm up, like, normally I'm up at like 11:30. Okay, that's quite the difference.
When
now.
are you going to bed? When are you going to bed, Arsyn?
Actually, last night I went to bed at like 1:15, which is I normally go to sleep at around 3:30.
Yeah, I normally see you already at 3:30.
Yeah.
I wake up to take a piss and Arsyn is streaming.
Listen, you know, for a while there, if it was in the AM, I wasn't fucking with it. But you know, we've changed. We're changed, man. Now.
Listen, that's great, dude. That's fucking wonderful. I do want to know. All right, introduction, Arsyn. Introduce yourself. Where you are. What platforms? What you doing? And how long have you been doing what you're doing?
Well, you know, I mean, people know me already. My name's ArsynTV. You know, I mean, I'm kind of known. You know, people know me.
Voice of Twitch.
Voice of Twitch. You know, you can find me at twitch.tv/ArsynTV. Also on Twitter, ArsynTV as well. And yeah, we're starting to become a little bit more active on Twitter. You know, just stuff
X,
like that.
By the way.
Whatever, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's gonna be a long day, Gino. It's gonna be a long day. Unbelievable.
You're the only guest I do that to. If you want me to be honest with you, dude.
It's okay. I do the same thing. But yeah, I've been streaming for what was it? 4 years? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
4 years. You know, doing the streaming thing. So yeah, it's been a pretty good 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I mean, that's 4 years is a really long time too. Yeah. Have you enjoyed it the entire time? That's all that matters. Like the growth and everything?
I mean, you know, for a good chunk of those 4 years, we had the pandemic. You know, obviously we know that. But the thing about the pandemic is it happened like right when Tarkov was in is prime.
Yeah.
So it was like, it wasn't even an issue for a lot of us.
True.
So, yeah, it's been a great 4 years. A lot have happened in that 4 years.
Dude.
So.
What did you do before streaming? I don't think I know that about you.
Well, I used to do hardwood floors. That was like the main thing that I was doing prior to streaming. But I also worked in a senior assistant living spot in the kitchen.
I think I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about it sometimes. I love that job. It was awesome, man. Everybody there was dope. And I was in charge of the memory care unit, you know, the folks that have Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that. So I would bring a steam cart of food to their level, and I would serve it, and the RNs there would give it to them and stuff like that. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I really liked that job. It was nice. Good. But the reason I stopped working there was because the company wanted a new chef, and I loved my chef. I wasn't gonna work for somebody else. So
hell no. Yeah, that chef seems pretty cool. I'm sure he was a dope person.
He's one of my favorite people ever, man. He was
really. Do you still keep in touch with him?
No, I don't. But yeah, he was gay, and he was the stories he's told me, man. He was the coolest dude. He was so cool, man.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Oh my God, he needs a tier 3 sub in your stream, man. That's what we need to get him on in your stream.
That goofy man ain't on Twitch. He ain't on Twitch.
That's fair. I would like to point out that me and Arsyn have been friends for quite a few years now. Like, I think I did my first ever duo month with Arsyn in it. This was probably 3 years ago. This is when you didn't really have a webcam. I should mention that you didn't use a webcam back then. We did grow together around the same time. Like, I feel like I got Twitch partner, and then you got it a few months after me. And I don't know if you remember the story, but your partner day that you got partner, we had duos. And I would like to point out, I still don't think you know this. When you went AFK to like get a drink or whatever you were doing, I would tell chat like, I appreciate you guys being here, and I want you guys to know to make this the most special stream for Arsyn ever, because this is gonna be sick. And I told them that every single time, bro. When you went away, I was telling it, and I was hyping you up, bro. And it was such a great time. That was one of my favorite streams of all time. We got so many clips that stream. I also killed you a year ago on customs.
I'm pretty sure that was fairly recent.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, it might have been a year ago. It feels more like a year ago, but
it was not a year ago. It was like a few months ago.
Yeah,
bro.
it feels like that because you're so demoralized by it. You're still living in your head rent free, huh?
Nah, not even a little bit, man. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I will say it was a pretty good play, though. It was a good play.
What? I think I jumped off the balcony on you, didn't I?
Well, no, it was the roof.
It was the roof. Yeah.
Dorms.
Yeah, you got sent back to the lobby. Do you have any
We
memorable?
got swag now a little bit. That's all right,
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with. I jumped out the roof and then I shot you. That's all Tarkov is,
Listen, you know what, Gino? I'm gonna tell you right now. You may have got me there, but you're a fool. You're a fool if you think you're the king of resort now.
Nah, man, don't come personally like that, bro.
You fool.
Who's the king?
Me.
Nah, hell,
That would be me.
Hell, nah.
You know what's funny? Now. Gino talking about how he does that balcony jump. That was his move. I was doing that before he was born.
Yeah, fucking right. I hate it here, dude. I literally hate this guy. I don't know why I got it for a podcast. Do you have any memorable moments of us together, like when we first started? I'll be honest, I was kind of blanking on some moments, but I think one of the most favorite ones for me was probably when I killed you. Just your reaction was hilarious. But we had a bunch of clips together that were hilarious. Do you have anything that you can remember?
We got a lot of moments, but the one that sticks out to me because it was hilarious was that day you were talking about. I think it was the first stream. You took my partner stream virginity. I think you were the first one I squad stream with. So that's a big deal. Yeah. So it was that day, and you were on the GL.
Yeah.
Throwing some at dorms, and you got Gingy.
That is a good one.
That was good.
Oh my God, that was such a good clip. That was just all around great content, dude. Both sides was hilarious. And then Blaze, I think Blaze was playing with Gingy at the time. Blaze came in talking trash, like jokingly trash, but that was hilarious. Now we do,
good time.
As friends, we beef a lot about different things. Now, one of those things is the NFL beef. I'm just going to say Steelers are on the top. Steelers are the best in the division this year.
That's that copium. You out of your mind, bro. You are out of your mind if you think the Steelers are winning that division.
Come on, man.
They coming in last, bro.
No, bro.
They coming in last.
No, last is a stretch. Come on, man.
Well, let's go through it then. You got Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You really think they beating Cincinnati? Yeah. I think we can
they ain't beating
push
Cincinnati.
them off to the side.
That's copium.
All
That's
right.
copium.
Now you got Baltimore now. Baltimore's up and coming. They got Zay Flowers. They got Odell Beckham, Mark Andrews. Obviously they got Lamar Jackson, who's hungry, looking to prove something. You know what I mean? You ain't beating them. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Come on, man.
Kenny Pickett ain't beating them either. You know what I mean? That's just not.
What about the Browns then?
Well, let's see. Let's talk about the Browns. They got a $230 million quarterback.
That's trash.
$230 million quarterback in Deshaun Watson, who's looking to prove himself as well after the stuff that he went through. He hasn't played quarterback in a minute, but when he was playing, last time he was playing, he was like top 3. So I got Nick Chubb. I mean,
they got a good team, I guess.
Who do the Steelers got? TJ Watt.
Come on now, don't disrespect
TJ Watt, the bag of chips. That's what you got. You coming last.
Who's your team, Arsyn? Don't you have like 3 teams you root for every year? The Cowboys and the Chiefs, yeah?
No, listen, the Cowboys, that's a meme. I ain't no Cowboys fan, but that's a meme, I like to troll the Cowboys fans a little bit because they're dedicated. You know
they really are.
It's our year every year, so we like to troll them. No, it's 2 teams. It is the Chiefs. That's the one team, and then the Minnesota Vikings. That's the other team.
That's the other team that I'm thinking about. Yeah.
The reason why that happened was obviously I'm from Minnesota. I grew up watching them, but there's a player the Chiefs has. His name is Dante Hall. He's a good kick returner, and that's what kind of got my attention to the Chiefs. And I'm a football enjoyer. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just love the sport. There's a lot of teams that I like watching, but I like to have a team in both conference to root for, to kind of, because it's like when I'm about the Chiefs, it's about the AFC, and I study a lot about the AFC, and when it's about the Vikings, it's the NFC, and I learn about the NFC, and it's just something for me to do. Like I pay attention to drafts, I pay attention to trades, rosters, stuff like that on both teams. So and it just keeps me engaged, And I'll tell you what, I really dislike being a team that's number one, because it's the first time in my ever where I've been a fan of a team that is number one, and the amount of attention that they get, the amount of flack that you get, a lot of people running their mouth, coming at you, it's just annoying, Yeah,
and then like you get the overrated chants and shit, like they'll start talking about overrated and like overhated and all of that stuff, man. I get what you're saying. I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm always used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like best team in the division always, Haven't been last since 1988. I was like negative 12 years old. So come on now, man. Put some respect on the Steelers. All right. You got to. Hey. Okay.
Listen,
what's their record this year?
Mike Tomlin is I like him.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And record is in the Steelers record or what?
Yeah. Steelers record. What are you predicting?
Well, I haven't seen their schedule, and that matters.
Eighth easiest in the league.
Eighth easiest. I'd say. I mean, I think you'll hover around the same,
Come on,
500.
We're better than we were last year by a mile.
I mean, listen, there's some question marks. I got to see Kenny Pickett. I got to see that O-line.
I agree with that.
Najee Harris is pretty solid.
I agree with that.
TJ Watt's obviously that dude,
He's that guy.
But I gotta see it. That division is stacked. That conference is stacked. I just don't see the Steelers doing much. I think I'll give Mike Tomlin some credit.
Okay.
He hasn't had a losing record since he's been there, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just, I just don't see you beating the other teams in that division. I just don't see it.
I respect it. Now, let's switch away from football. We're very dedicated football fans, but we're also avid gamers, okay? So I want to know. I've noticed you play all sorts of games, including Tarkov. I've seen you like League. I actually went back in some clips for a later section in this. You like League a lot. So what's that experience? Any favorite legends, or like, what do they call them? They call them legends, right?
Champions.
Whatever, man. Come on. Characters, what legends. I don't know, man. Valorant, give me a break,
I mean, let's just be honest. Valorant, they're agents. Overwatch, the heroes. League, the champion. You know what I mean? They're all, it's ridiculous. Operators and agent, whatever. They're all different, But, League, I haven't really played it much recently, but League was a big part of what I was doing back in, like, the, in between 2010 and 2017 kind of thing. So, I played a lot of League in those times. My favorite champion in that game, I got 3. It's hard for me to pick one that stands out above these 3, because they all have had spectacular moments depending upon the era I was playing in. So, number 1, got to be Ezreal. That dude, I played him since season 1. He's my most played. I have a lot of fun on him. Number 2 is probably gonna have to go Twisted Fate. Really like TF. Had a moment towards the end of my League playing days where I was just spamming him, and my buddy I duo with would play Nocturne, and that was just an unstoppable combo.
One of them duos, huh?
Yeah, man, it was a good time. Had a lot of good moments in there. And then third would be Lux. I really enjoy Lux. I like combo mage. You land your stun and destroy somebody in 2 seconds.
I've heard Lux a lot. So, like, when I honestly don't know much about League, but I've heard Lux. Like, what's the most popular character in League, probably? Or
most popular character? I mean, I would say the most hated one is probably Teemo. I think you say Teemo, everybody freaks out.
Teemo sounds like a douchebag. Is Teemo, is he just overpowered, or is he just?
And he's okay. So he can throw down like invisible shrooms that are like landmines, and
that sounds
annoying. He shoots little darts at you. He's just a little yordle that's just like, it's like if you ever played WoW, right? And you saw a gnome, it's very similar
He's just a little shit. Yeah, I know what you're saying, bro. I know exactly what you're saying, bro. That's cool. I like, I've never played League, so I might have to play it one time with you, but I appreciate you sharing that with us. Now, I do know that you're also a big esports guy in regards to League of Legends. I kind of wanted to bring this question in here because I thought it was pretty good. Do you have any organization that you would love to represent? I know as a streamer, it's going to be different, but like as a content creator, is there any org out there that like your dream org to represent?
Well, so back when I used to be a big esports guy in League, it's fallen off a little bit because if anybody's ever paid attention to NA, it's more copium than your Steelers. You know what I mean? They ain't winning. They're not winning. So it's just it kind of got old after a couple of years of praying that they do something, but. Back in those days when I was super into it, Cloud9 was definitely the org that kind of stood out in terms of like, what they did. Obviously at TSM and CLG and stuff like that. But Cloud9, I remember Cloud9 was was the org. I'm like, that'd be sick. I would really like to rep that. I like the colors,
Their logo is really nice too. Yeah, I don't know if they changed it over the years, but I know Jack owns that. I think his name is Jack, the owner of Cloud9. It's funny you mentioned that because when CS esports were popping off, League was also popping off, and NA was never proven until Cloud9 won the major. And that was around the time that Cloud9 was doing really good in League too. So like Cloud9's that,
Stewie. I mean, that was a lineup. That was a good lineup.
That was a good lineup.
Counter-Strike as well, yeah.
Yeah, I love all esports. I don't watch League esports just because I don't understand the game, but they are so electric, man, and I just love watching it. When I don't have a football game, I'll turn on a Cloud9 match, or I'll turn on a CS match. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. So I kind of go off a little off topic here. Like I was really into Counter-Strike esports as well. I was watching that religiously as well, and I'd always say, I'm like, dude, Counter-Strike players are just better than any other esports player. Like the reaction time is just insane. Like those guys are on a different planet. Crazy. So Counter-Strike was always good because it was just ridiculous, man. I'm
sure you've heard it. I played Counter-Strike for 6 years. Yeah. And I never realized the skill gap, right? So like there were certain times where I thought like our team hovered around like 250 to 275 in the United States. So we weren't the best of the best, but we weren't that bad. And I remember facing against Cloud9 one time. And this was their roster after the major win. It was kind of compiled of a bunch of players that I didn't necessarily know. And I remember specifically, I was like, we could win this, guys. Like these guys aren't that good. We lost 16-3. Dude, the skill gap between semi-professional and professional and like my team and that team was the most outrageous thing I've ever seen. I thought we had a chance and we got blown out. Like, dude, I'm talking, I think half was 14-2, or 14-1. Yeah, 14-1. It was 14, and we won pistol, and I was like, fellas, we can win this. Like, we got to come back. They destroyed us next round. They had pistols. We had ARs and stuff, and they just destroyed our team. That was the skill gap in video games is just unreal. It really is.
For real. It's actually funny you say that too, because I had a very similar experience in League. Like we went up against the TSM squad. We got rolled. I don't even think we killed them. Not one kill. So, but I wasn't a semi-professional. I was just a nerd, right? So, but I will say this, Gino, that's a good mindset to have. Like, we could do We could do this.
Yeah,
like,
that's how I always look at life, and then I get shut down, Arsyn.
Well, sometimes you get smacked up, but hey, it's.
I wake up important. And I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a great day. I go outside, it's a flat tire on my car. Like this shit sucks, dude. Sometimes that's funny. Now, speaking about skill gaps, Tarkov has a really big skill gap. Now, I do notice you were kind of competitive in Tarkov. Now, there isn't really an esports scene. However, you like to boast that you won Twitch Rivals. And so, how was that experience for you? And have you always been this competitive?
I'm probably the most competitive person you'll ever meet.
Really?
don't let me win. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say, because you'll never hear the end of it, right? So
I still don't hear the end of it. Fun fact.
I mean, I'm competitive. It doesn't matter what it is. I feel like it adds a little bit more to it. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, if I'm running my mouth and you want to shut me up, you know, I have to prove to you that I can back what I'm saying, and you want to prove to me that you can shut me up. So it's like a clash. It makes it more interesting. So that's the main reason. But in terms of league, Tarkov and the Rivals win, that was crazy, because I played the Rivals before that, and that was when there wasn't really a lot of like streamers around our level were in that one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What was that one? What
that
map
was
was
the
that?
one. That was they played. So it was like there wasn't really, the structure wasn't the same as it was during the one that I won, because it was like you had objectives that you had to do.
Yeah.
And some of them were map specific. Like my role was to play customs, and you didn't play together. You just did your own thing.
Yeah.
And I played customs to try to kill Rashala and do all that stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't on private servers.
Yeah.
So I found him one raid, and then he didn't spawn the rest of the raid the rest of the time. So the RNG kind of messed us up there. And it wasn't the same in the sense, because, like I said, we were all split up on different maps. We weren't really playing as a team. Yeah. So it was a little bit different. And then fast forward to the Rivals in May 2021, that was when there was a little bit more structure.
Reserve, right?
Different. Reserve was the play-in game. You had a bingo card to fill out. Top 8 got to move on, I think, or it might have been top 16. I can't remember.
I think it was top 16, because we got 15th. I think.
Right. Yeah, top 16. That's right. Because 8 in the winners bracket, 8 in the losers bracket. That's right. And I can't remember exactly what we placed in that, but I know it was the winners bracket.
Yeah, of course. Of course it was.
But I mean, I don't even have to say it no more. But it was cool though. Like, honestly, it was cool, because like I saw so many of my the homies were just in the top 16, and I was like, we've never had this before. Normally it's the big guys, right? You know, the Pastilles and the Landmarks of the world that are doing that. So it was like, wow, like we actually, we're here. And the progression through that whole tournament was nuts. And we did customs. That was the first map out of the reserve bingo card stage. We did pretty well in that, and then we advanced to the winners in the woods map, which I played horrible that map, but my teammate Queen FPS kind of hard carried there.
Yeah, I remember that
work. She went nuts. So, and I was very happy. It was a good moment for her as well, because she was a woods main. You can't take that away from her. It's a big deal. And then we, since we won that, we went straight to the finals. We skipped Interchange and the Shoreline, and we sat back and watched that. But what's crazy about that is Some Man's team, Finest and Sensei Scav, I know them very well. Some Man is like my main duo in Tarkov. He was also in the winners. He also was in the winners round and has made it to the finals, right? So both of our teams were just waiting to see who our next two opponents were, and it was so crazy, because it was like, those are my boys, and we're in the finals. Like we skipped all of that and made it to the finals. Like that was a crazy experience. That it was just such a good experience.
I remember you winning. I was hyped for you. I'll be honest. Like I remember watching the one that you were talking about where you had to split up and everything. I remember watching that one, and I didn't really notice any names. When I saw you at that scoreboard, dog, at #1 at the end of the tournament, that dude, I was hyped for you, man. I'll be honest, I hardly ever get hyped for seeing other people's names at #1, because usually I want to be #1. But I saw your name up there, dog. I was hype as shit for you, man. I still can't. That was the prime of Tarkov, man.
It was.
It was the good old days,
It was. Real quick, the last map was on reserve, and we spawned in between the knights. There was a tank battery there, which was an objective. It was spawned right there, so we grabbed it and moved it to Black Knight, and we were just kind of posted up waiting, and all of a sudden Queen drops, And
wasn't it from Dome? I think I remember that.
No.
No, it wasn't?
They were in White Night.
Oh, okay.
They were across from us in the other night. And I just remember sitting there like, damn, because Queen was like popping off, you know, like that's just a huge loss right there, you know? And I'm sitting there, it's like, I just remember feeling like it's over. Like, I'm like, there's no way, like, how do you come back from this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I was down bad. Like I was, and then I asked her who killed her, and she said Finest. I'm like, oh no. So that's like, we can't lose to them. You know what I mean? And
you stepped it up.
I was just like, okay, what do we do? And my first thought process was, I want to go over there and kill every single one of them. But I didn't do that. We backed up and went down into D2 and killed some raiders and stuff. And I'm like, okay, let's just take what we got and leave, right? And all of a sudden, I hear water, and I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, all right, I'm telling Sharp, because Sharp doesn't play reserve, so I'm trying to have to give him a step-by-step guide on what to do.
Yeah.
So I said, Sharp, just hold that angle and just chill for a second. Let's wait, see what happens here. So this player comes running up from the water area down there, up the ramp to go down to D2. And as soon as he got to the top of that ramp, I was there, waiting for him, gunned him down. Damn. And that was Batty. That's actually the moment me and Batty became friends. Because Batty was lost down there. I didn't know he was lost. And Bellion was yelling at him because Bellion was dead. And Bellion was yelling at him, like, you got to go this way. You got to go this way. And if Batty had listened to Bellion, he wouldn't have died to me. Because Bellion told him to go to the switch. But the switch was already on, and Batty didn't know where he was going. He said, I'm just going to go this way. And he ran right into me.
He took out the lost dog, man.
Yeah.
He took him out back.
Right. I felt so bad. I remember when I killed him, I said, Batty, I'm so sorry. And but he had killed Gluhar, and he had a bunch of tags on him. He had all this loot on him. And I'm still, like I said, my mindset, I was down bad. Like I was depressed. I was not even happy I killed him. I was like, we still lost. You know what I mean? Like that was the mindset, you know. We got stuff and extracted, and then we waited for the scoreboard or the score results, and they said that we won. I couldn't believe it.
It was such a good tournament to watch too. That was, like I said, just good old days of Tarkov. You know, that was
100%.
That was when it was fun, 100%. Man. Well, speaking about that, we just talked about how you won with a trio. So we actually are going to get into a little segment that I thought was going to be, it's going to be new for the podcast. I'm going to stream my screen, so I'm going to go back to the webcam real quick for stream and everything. But we are going to be making a list here on Paint. And I actually made something just for this. Give me 2 seconds. I actually made a list for this. And we are going to be streaming it. And I don't know if you can see that on screen. We should be good to go. Let's see here. There we go. And then, right. Give me 2 seconds. I made this for you, Arsyn, just for you, dog. I don't know if you can see this. But we're doing the best Tarkov stack. 5 people. Hopefully this is going to work. Hold on. Oh, it's not going to work. It's okay. Hold on. We'll do it up here. All right. I don't know if you can see this, but this is your top 5.
I could see it.
Tarkov stack. Now, at number 1, of course, you know, we're gonna put this here. I'm sorry about the handwriting. Arsyn. All right, because you're there. All right. Best Tarkov stack. Now, this can be, I should mention, this can be anybody that you want. It can be people that you have the most fun with. It can also be the best players in Tarkov. So this is your dream stack. So we're gonna have to go through here and tell me which one. Who's at number 2? I think I know this answer.
You should know this answer.
Is it some man?
It's some man.
It's some man, baby. Let's put him there. Some man.
I got put some man too. Me and that dude, we got a lot of hours together.
He's a good dude too.
I met him on Interchange. I killed his duo.
Really?
And we've been friends ever since.
He's a good dude. He really is. He's a really nice person too.
That's the A1 day one. We got mind control. Like we know we don't even have to speak, and we just know how to maneuver around resort. So it's a good time. We got to put him 2.
Number 2.
3. I mean, I'm gonna put Blaze at 3.
Okay, Blaze is nuts.
I'm gonna put Blaze at 3. That dude, he's stone cold killer. You know what I mean?
He's crazy.
Stone cold killer, just ice in his veins, no emotion.
He's unreal.
You know, I've never seen him. I feel like I've never seen him like super excited, but I've also never seen him like super upset. He's just, no matter
He's
what,
just gaming.
Exactly. Like in a tournament, he could just mow down a 5-man and be like, killed one, got another one, third one's dead, got the fourth one, cool, 5-man dead.
Yeah, 5-man collided the last two. You know, like we're like,
I'd be freaking the fuck out, and Blaze just like, yeah, I just killed 5 men. I'm gonna loot up and move.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ridiculous. So I gotta put Blaze at 3.
Okay, Blaze at 3.
And 4, you know, I gotta. This man is probably the derpiest dude that I know.
Okay.
But dude can shoot a weapon.
Okay.
In Tarkov, and that's my boy Reefy.
Reefy.
I gotta put Reef at 4. I've had a couple moments with him.
Okay.
Solid player. Whenever he's locked in, he's nuts. You know what I mean? He's just a derpy dude. Doesn't really lock in that much. You know what I mean? I gotta put Reefy at 4, and 5. You know, we could go a lot of places at 5.
I'm sure there's a lot of players that you love playing with.
But, you know, we need somebody.
Okay.
Who can round up the squad.
Yep.
Right? We need somebody who could put all the pieces together. And if we're really down bad, this guy is probably going to be the one to carry us to victory.
Carry. Okay.
I got to put my man Willers Z there.
Willers. Okay, so before you start, I think Willers is the best player in Tarkov. And I'll argue that for days. That dude's movement is unbelievable. I've never seen a dude move like that in Tarkov. You know what I'm saying? Like inertia did not nerf that man. You know what I'm saying? Like
that is a true story.
Oh my gosh!
Will, like I have a lot of respect for Will. You know, back when I was a young ArsynTV on the Tarkov scene, Will was like struggling to even get partner. He had the numbers, but I was watching him then, and it was nice to see him grow. And I went up against him a couple times on customs back in those days because we were the only ones playing customs at midnight. You know, so. Yeah. I got a lot of respect for him. I met him at TwitchCon last year, and that was like one of those guys that you kind of you see grow up, and you see like, you know, how they were then and how they are now, and he stayed humble, and that matters, you know, to me. Sure. So it never got to his head. And the dude's jump shots is just like actually insane. Like it bothers me sometimes watching it because I'm just like, bro, how is that even possible?
How are you doing this? How are you jumping this high? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's one thing to me if it's like a once in a blue moon thing, like anybody could do that, but it's consistent, and that's what it is. I gotta put Will at 5 just to just to solidify the group. But there's some stone cold killers in that little 5-man there.
There are.
You know, like
it's a good
team, and you're the worst person on that team. That's solid.
Come on, Arsyn, give yourself credit, man. Twitch Rivals winner, by the way, man. Come on, listen, now.
You know. I mean, Twitch Rivals. That is
have they won?
You know?
Have they won?
No, I took it from some man. I give him shit all the time.
Some man's a good dude too. Like I said, I played DayZ with him. He taught me a little bit of DayZ. He reminds me of my uncle. I have an uncle named Jim, and he's bald too. So it just adds up.
There's some similarities there, yeah.
He's bald, and he's just such a good dude. You know, he's always there for the family, and I feel like that's how some man is. He's just always there. You know?
Yeah, some man's competitive too.
He
like
is.
That dude,
he
me
is.
and him, we kind of go back and forth a little bit. You know, I've had the upper hand most of them. You know, but every once in a while he'll sneak one in. He'll get a dub every now and then.
Well, I appreciate you telling me your Tarkov sack. This is a group. Oh my God, I don't think Twitch Rivals were winning there. You know, like if it was a 5 sack on Rivals, you're winning that.
I mean, like I said, I'm just gonna get in my chair and watch them boys kill everything. I'm just, you know,
sit back,
I'm just the voice.
Have a nice cup of Joe or something, you know?
Exactly.
Stay caffeinated, you know? Well, I appreciate that, Arsyn. I appreciate that. We're gonna go back to normal programming. We're gonna go back to this, and then, bam, this. Don't save. There we go. We're good. All right. That being said, I want to talk about coffee. All right. Now, I will say we never talk about coffee with each other. We only ever talk about drinks when it comes to alcohol. And I would like to point out that the last time I stopped by your stream, I made fun of you, I think, about some alcohol bottles in the behind your desk, and you decided to just straight up chug it. It was a few shots easily. You're just crazy with that. We might have an issue, considering we've only ever talked about alcohol, but I do want to know your take in alcohol. What is the what do you want to? What in your opinion is the best alcohol? What's your favorite?
The best alcohol is any alcohol. I'm just kidding. No, I would say number one for me has got to be Captain Morgan. That's just a comfort one.
Spiced rum, man.
I can't go wrong with it. You know, honestly. But throughout my tenure as an alcoholic drinker, it's kind of Captain has always been a consistent, but there's always been like, and we had, you know, vodka was number one for a minute there. We had Fireball was good there for a little bit. Then we had Crown Apple. You know, those were kind of what I was drinking. Tequila, never really got into it. I don't mind it, but just nobody around me drinks it. So, but Captain's definitely the number one drink for me if I had to pick one, for sure.
I love Captain Morgan's. I also like Kraken. I think I saw you have a bottle of Kraken before. So
yeah, Kraken is like special to me because at a night where it's just like a night that you just had no plans, and all of a sudden you just go on a nice little long journey with some friends, and Kraken was involved in that. It's the first time I ever had it.
The best time.
Yeah, great time. You know, like I had no idea I was gonna end up where I was at, but I was happy, man. And that whole night was awesome. And then we got a ride back to my friend's house. Mid-ride, he had to fucking throw up, so we had to pull over. He had to do the thing, and we get to his house, so we drink a little bit more. And I realized that I really don't want to stay the night, but I can't drive. I don't even have my car there. So a buddy of mine, we were like, yo, let's just walk home. It's like 3 miles at like 3 a.m. And it was warm out, you know, it was summer, so it's good. And yeah, we were just two drunk motherfuckers walking home, and I'm telling you, man, that conversation was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was a great time.
Do you remember the conversation though?
I do.
Okay, damn, you weren't drinking enough, I guess.
Well,
huh?
I was kind of on the sober, so I was sobering up at that point, you know.
All right.
I had stopped drinking probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before that.
You had time then.
And yeah, we were just talking about everything, you know, and I grew up with this dude. So like, you know, we have stories that we just went back and were reminiscing about. And yeah, no, that's the Kraken story. That whole night. The
Kraken story, bro.
That whole night was just splendid. It's a good night, for sure.
Those are always the best conversations with your friends, you know, slightly tipsy so you're not anxious thinking about, you know, other things in life. Just sitting back, relaxing with your friend with a nice drink, you know. Speaking about drinks, we don't talk about coffee enough, dude. Are you a coffee drinker?
I am.
Okay.
But for some reason, it's like I don't have it as much as I think I should. Because for me, it's like sometimes I forget, and then it's too late to drink it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to mess up the sleep schedule.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But in terms of coffee, like coffee to me is like beer. And what I mean by that is I'll drink almost any beer, no matter what.
Okay.
You know, some I might like more than others, but if you hand me a beer that I've never tried, there's a good to high chance I will finish it and actually like it.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what it is. You know, I'm all over the place. And coffee is kind of the same thing. Like I feel like I could have almost any coffee as long as it's not like cardboard. And sometimes I like it black. Sometimes I like put a little creamer in it, sugar, half and half, you know, heavy whipping cream. That was actually the black coffee with a couple dashes of heavy whipping cream.
I've never had a heavy
right
whipping.
there.
Is it? Is it?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to try it.
I'm a fan.
I have to try it. So I speaking about coffee, we haven't really we got into how you drink coffee like beer, but you know, we'll move past that. What's your favorite type of drink if you don't have a coffee? I do know you're sponsored by Advanced GG, so this is that time, Arsyn. This is that time, my brother. I know you're sponsored, so I know what you're gonna say. All right,
No.
But what's your go-to drink if you don't have a coffee or like a alcoholic beverage?
Well, first of all, let me just get this out the way. I'm not an alcoholic. Okay. I really don't. I don't really drink much off stream.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Really?
Do it, so
no, it's only fun on stream, huh?
Yeah, it's only fun on stream. I'm not really one to get drunk.
Yeah, no.
I don't really like getting drunk.
I've always said this.
I also don't like to pay $20 for a drink.
Oh my God, dude! I've said this so many times. I'm sorry to interrupt. I think drinking is incredibly overrated. Like I'm 21 years old now. I might not have the days yet where I black out drunk, but if I'm being real with you, there is no upside to an alcoholic beverage besides having a good time with your friends. You know,
that is a fact. I will agree with you on that.
A little ease up on the anxiety or whatever you might have going on with your life. You know, it's nice, but drinking to get drunk is incredibly overrated in my opinion. It's not only overrated, but it's terrible for you. As somebody who's been going to the gym and everything, I'm a firm believer that alcoholic beverages are good in moderation, but only to have a good time with friends. And I'll never drink an alcoholic beverage sad. Does that make sense? Like if I'm sad or something like that, I'll make sure to go for a drive or maybe go for a run before I start drinking, because all it does is just make me more sad, you know? So it's just one of those things. I truly believe that drinking's overrated in a sense.
No,
you know?
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I, however, am a very happy drunk.
Oh, are you?
I don't really get sad.
You're not a sappy one.
No, I'm more of I love you, man. Come here, man. You know,
you're the best type of person to be around, man. When did we drinking together? Jesus.
Right. You know, yeah. But I do agree though that it is overrated. I don't. It's like you said, outside of like a fun time with the boys. I'm not really I don't really like getting drunk. I like the buzz. The buzz is nice. But for me, it's like, I got no problem being drunk if I'm social, but once I'm not social, now I'm just stuck here. I'm like, I can't watch anything. I have to go to sleep. And then if I go to sleep, I wake up, I feel like shit because hangovers. Yeah. I get hangovers.
Bad? Never had one.
Sometimes it could be worse than others.
Yeah.
But no matter how many, I try to stay hydrated and eat something, I'll always wake up feeling a little groggy, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah. You're getting
some
old.
Some of them can be really bad. I mean, listen, I am getting old, but it's been the same for me. It's been consistent for me throughout even my teenage years.
Damn, bro, what?
I didn't drink before
21. Yeah, we don't drink. Nah, well, we didn't do that. Anyway, moving on. Sponsored by Advanced GG, by the way. How is that for you? I know that's a good beverage for you, I assume.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I do like some Advanced GG, and I feel like when I would drink it, it did kind of it actually worked. Like
really,
that's why I wanted the sponsorship, because I'm like, this stuff actually is good, Yeah, so Advanced GG is really good if you don't have access to coffee, if you don't feel like drinking a hot drink like coffee. But I also, I'm telling you right now, I just a good old glass of ice water. I just
Okay.
it just
The
it just
healthy
hits
route.
me different.
I
It just
respect that,
hits
bro.
me different now.
It does.
You
Have you
know,
ever
like
have you ever had like a slightly above room temperature water after a workout? It's just a delight. Or what about those times, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up, thirsty as shit. You down that water bottle next to your bed.
Whoa.
That's like drinking out a damn iceberg, my brother. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, ice water. The last few months, ice water has just hit me different, and I partake in the devil's lettuce every now and again. Water is just, sometimes the throat burns up, and it's just nice. You can't go wrong with ice water. You know what I mean?
It's needed, dude. Hydration.
Yeah, no. So advanced GG, which is nice because you just put advanced GG in water. You know what I mean? So you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Well, so I feel bad bringing up this point because we were just talking about how overrated it is, but I've never had it. Have you ever had coffee and alcohol together?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
It's what, Bailey's Irish Cream or something that's really good in coffee from what people have told me?
Bailey's Irish Cream is pretty good. You can, my family, it's more of like a dessert thing. So after like a meal, a cup of coffee with splash a little Bailey's in there. So that's kind of our thing. It's not very strong. You're not really gonna get drunk off of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you, because you're like, lightweight. But,
come on now, man.
I mean, some people like rum chata. I'm not really a fan of it, but you throw rum chata in there. There's all sorts of coffee drinks out there, even like the canned ones. I like one of my favorite drinks is a White Russian. That is a coffee drink.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Oh man,
dude, I haven't experienced in alcohol and everything like that. I've only had a few.
I know you know.
I'm still a youngin.
You're amateur. It's all good. Hey,
you're not wrong.
Don't feel like it's
wrong.
a bad thing. We all start somewhere.
You got to. You really got to.
Yeah.
Now I do want to bring up a hot take subject for this.
Hot take. That's my specialty.
Coffee is usually at around breakfast, so we just got done talking about coffee. If you could have one meal for breakfast for the rest of your life, what would it be? Meaning that if you pick this meal, you cannot have anything else for breakfast, ever. So choose wisely. Now, I would probably say an English breakfast because everything's there, It's hard to not go wrong with that. But it doesn't have my pancakes or waffles. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's an automatic no for me. I gotta have my waffles. So
okay.
I mean, let me tell you something right now. This is the best breakfast you could ever get right now. All right. A nice thick Belgian waffle.
Okay.
All right. Now, that's like a hybrid thing. You could throw some syrup and butter on that, call it good. You could throw some strawberries and strawberry syrup, call it good. You could throw some ice cream on it, call it good. I mean, there's a lot of things to do there. Okay, so I got to put the Belgian.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take that over French toast, and I like French toast.
French toast is my favorite.
I'm gonna take the Belgian over the French toast.
Okay.
Because of the crunchiness and there's just you can't go wrong with a Belgian, right? Then I'm taking eggs. You gotta have some eggs.
True.
Right?
You got to. What type of eggs? Scrambled? You a scrambled guy?
Scrambled.
Okay.
I mean,
all
eggs,
of them are good.
I love all the eggs. Like if I go to somebody's house and they make me an egg, no matter how they make it, I'm gonna like it. That's just the reality. So we got that going for us. I'm gonna throw some bacon in there because I got to get that protein from the bacon as well, right? And then potatoes of hash browns, diced potatoes, stuff like that.
I'm a big home fry guy. You like home fries?
I'd eat them.
I don't like that disrespect.
For sure.
What are you doing? Like sliced diced potatoes or hash brown type thing? I will say McDonald's hash browns. I had it one time after one of the closest calls to a hangover ever. Now, I never had a hangover, but I definitely woke up not feeling the greatest. And I had a McDonald's hash brown, and I'll tell you right now, that thing it's made of crack. It's got to be. They're putting drugs in that. Like, listen, man.
I mean, it's McDonald's, bro. I mean, they got a lot of things going there. I mean,
they do.
The hash browns, fire. If you ever had their fries, I mean, come on now, them fries is legit. And they put a little bit of like how they do their fountain pop. It's called pop, by the way. How they do their fountain pop. It's like they put a little bit more like syrup in it, makes it a little bit sweeter. And you could tell if you get McDonald's fountain pop, but it's a little bit different. So they got it figured out over there at old Mickey D's.
They really do. It's just so unhealthy, but it's good. It's really good.
It is unhealthy.
It's one of those like craving
I haven't had McDonald's in a minute,
yeah.
But them hash browns, I haven't had those in a minute either, but you're right about them hash browns. I'm never up early enough for them.
Come on, man. You got to wake up for that shit, dog. That's the one thing that gets me going sometimes. You know? If I don't want to wake up one day, I'm like, damn, wait a minute. McDonald's ain't open, or McDonald's going to close here soon. Oh, my God. That's funny. Now, I want to get into the content creation of things, and we're going to get into some deeper questions here, so get ready for these. And they're not going to be hot takes like we just said with breakfast, but we talked earlier about your previous job. You said that you helped with a senior living home, correct? And that was one of your favorite jobs. I do want to ask, how did you become a streamer? Was it a hobby at first? Like, was it one of those things that you just like, oh, I'm going to play video games? Like, how did you start that?
So, I mean, before Tarkov, I don't really credit that because it was mainly just something I did for personal things. Like whenever I'd stream WoW, I would stream WoW and I would do arenas, and I would go back and I would look at the arenas and kind of just get better because that's the type of person I am. So it was mainly just for personal thing. Never really planned on it being, what it is today. Same with League, and I'd stream for friends if they wanted to watch. But that was like before Discord was really a thing, and you couldn't really do it on Discord. So that was kind of the main thing, and I play a lot of Counter-Strike too. But in regards to actually being a streamer, I never really want. I mean, obviously you want to get paid to play video games if you're a gamer, right? Like that's kind of a cool thing. But it was never really something that I thought would be possible, So, and I was playing WoW at the time. This was like end of 2018, Battle for Azeroth. I was actually having a good time playing WoW. I was doing arenas, raiding, stuff like that, and it was a good time. I had no interest in playing anything else, but a buddy of mine who I actually met in Wrath of the Lich King way back in the day. Back then, I did everything with this dude, right? Like everything. He was the Nocturne duo I was telling you about earlier. Like everything for the last decade I did with him, whether it was League, Counter-Strike, whatever. And he sent me a message one day. He's like, listen, I'm playing this game called Escape from Tarkov, and I think you would like it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really worried about that game. He's like, well, listen, I bought it for you, so you don't really have a choice. And I'm like, this motherfucker. And I couldn't I couldn't say no to him. So I'm like, okay, I'll play it. We'll see what happens. And I get on there, and this was back at the end of 2018, right? Labs wasn't even out yet. Okay. So this was the era that we were in, and instantly hooked me. I mean, it didn't take very long for me to just completely take over my life. And at the time I was like, all right, I'm playing, so I might as well stream. That was the mindset. I was like, I'm playing because it's like, as a streamer, it's hard to motivate yourself to stream a game you don't really want to stream or play.
Yeah. Like Tarkov nowadays.
Having such a good time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was having such a good time with Tarkov back in those days where I'm just like, it's not even an issue, And I made my in-game name, my Twitch name, ArsynTV, and that's how it happened. I remember very early on, I ran into a duo on Shoreline. They were extracting that tunnel. I killed one of them. The other one got out. They both came to my chat. The guy I killed was a little upset. And the other guy ended up, the guy who extracted ended up coming back the next day. And that was the first time I had a concurrent viewer. And that was like, that did a lot for me, And I remember the first conversation that he had with another viewer. And that man, he subbed to me. It's like 52 months sub. He just subbed to me again like a couple days ago. Or
Yeah,
yesterday
it
or
was.
something.
What is his name? Is it Timmy?
No, his name is Iron Outlaw.
Oh, okay. What's the one? Zimmy or Timmy? What was that guy's name that subbed really
Yimmy?
long time? Yimmy? Is that it?
Yimmy.
50, it was like 51 months.
Yimmy's in that
green
51.
name in chat. I'm forgetting it. I apologize, but you have a really good sense of community with your stream, and that's really dope.
No, yeah, I don't even know how it happened, but when as a streamer, having that concurrent viewer did a lot for me, and it helped keep me consistent. You know, knowing that somebody's gonna be there and talk to you and stuff like that. And he was very active in chat. So yeah, that's how it started. You know, just completely random.
I feel like with streaming, and I think this isn't talked about a lot with streamers, is that I would say 95% of us as streamers weren't thinking about making it our job before it was our job. So many people nowadays, I feel like, look at streaming and like, oh, yo, Genooo, yo, Arsyn, how do I become a streamer? Or how do I do this for a living? And I always tell them, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, you're already failing. Like, I'm being genuinely honest. Like, if you think that you're going to make it your job right off the bat, you're more than likely going to burn out. You're not going to look at it realistically. And I feel like that's a perfect example. You know, you said that you saw people making money, but you never thought you could do it yourself. And now you are doing that exact thing. You know, you're making money playing video games. You never would have thought of that. And that's another thing that streamers don't really do is kind of look back at where they came from. You know, they look at the goals that they have, but they don't look at what they have in the current moment. You know, and I've talked about that with Markstrom and so many other streamers and stuff. It's very true, you know, and I'm glad that you remember that, because that means that like deep down, Arsyn, I know you're a good dude. You know, like even though you bully me a lot, you're a good dude, right? So
hey, you fire really back, so it's all good.
That is true.
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's honestly, it's like that with a lot of things. It's not just streaming. It's like a lot of people want to go to 0 to 100 quick, but it's really about that 0 to 5 to 10 to 20. You know, that journey, you kind of look back and be like, damn, that's kind of crazy how it happened that way. And again, to your point, like a lot of people, you know, they just want to immediately just start making money off streaming, and it's just like, it's just hard. It's just hard to do it like that, you know. The 0.1% that happens to, it's not realistic to go in with that mindset, you know. Because if you have that mindset and you don't achieve what you want, you're gonna burn out really quick. So you have to have a different mindset in order to pull it off. Yeah. It's not
about the destination. It's about the journey. That's what I always tell people, you know. The reason that we're so passionate, and us streamers and content creators are so passionate, is because we've seen our stream from, you know, 1 person and 5 people, and it slowly just goes up. It's about that feeling of accomplishment. You know, it's not about instantly having instant success, right? I would argue that people that have instant success are often the first ones to quit, you know. But for people like me and you, we've seen our chat empty. You know, I don't know about you, but there was a stream that I did 4 hours one time. I had no viewers. I had nobody say a single thing. It's that feeling of knowing that I came from that area, or that area of my stream, that pushes me every single day. Does that make sense? I feel like a lot of streamers think that way as well, and it seems to me that you kind of look back at that moment and use it as motivation, right?
100%, yeah. And you know, me and you were also, you know, like I'm a very sarcastic person. I don't have an ego. I know it comes off that way, but I just don't. You know, and you don't have it either, and I think that matters. I feel like people like that better. Yeah, you know,
I would say so.
Obviously, you got your ridiculous streamers that I'm just not really a fan of, but I like the ones that it doesn't get to their head.
It doesn't change them. You know,
they're always like, will stick up for the little guy, you know, and won't let other streamers roll the smaller guy. Can't stand that. So I feel like we're just more likable that way.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I agree. And I think that's what forms the greatest communities. You know, this is a very similar conversation to like what I had with Markstrom is it's very true in a sense that like you attract what you reflect, right? And the fact that we have great communities and genuine people just means that I feel like at the end of the day, we're good people, you know? And I'm a firm believer in that. Now, I do want to mention something that's kind of away from streaming. Family, okay? Now, I'm sure the family was confused about making it your job. Or, well, I'm sure they had their questions. If not, that's okay because my family didn't really have any questions either. What do they think about it? Like, how do they view streaming?
Well, my family, they're very supportive, so that's good. They don't really understand streaming. I try to tell them, and like they're very good at listening. You know, they're not like a hard-headed group of individuals, but I try to tell them that it's more of being an entertainer than it is just playing video games.
Yeah.
You know, like anybody could get on here and play a video game, but can you make it fun?
Yep.
Can you make people want to watch you? Can you make it so that, you know, it's not boring, it's not resident sleeper?
Yeah.
Because I think that that's, you know, a big deal. And my personality, it's like it's never an act.
Yeah.
This is just who I am. I mean, I remember when I went through that early phase where I'm like, I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, you know, and, you know, the rule I have is for every one person that doesn't like you, there's 5 people that do, no matter what you're doing. Right.
Yep.
And if the people that don't like me, I don't want them around. I want the people that do like me around. So, I learned very early to just be yourself and do it. And so when I explain it to them, you know, they get it in regards to that. Like they understand like the social media, like entertaining thing. So, they have a difficult time. I shouldn't say difficult time, but it surprises them that I'm able to do it like this because they're, you know, a lot of my family's older, so it's like the concept of video game making money off of it just doesn't, it's not there, but that like they are supportive though. They're not like, you should be fucking doing this. You should be, you know, they're exactly. You know, they're very supportive.
No,
you know?
that's funny you mentioned that. I think I've mentioned this before. It was funny. The first time telling my grandmother when I started streaming and making money, right? I was like, Grandma, I just got a bunch of subs or whatever. Or, well, I made a lot of money today. I got a bunch of subs. And she's like, oh, that's great. And I was like, yeah, I'm so excited. Like, it's finally coming to fruition, like all my hard work and stuff. And then she goes, so what type of subs? Like Jersey Mike, Subway, or Jimmy John? Man, I'll tell you what, I'll never forget that moment when my grandmother said that.
I just want to give her a big hug, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That is awesome. I
was like, subscriptions, Grandma, like TV subscriptions. She's like, oh, okay. No, it's funny. She thought I was getting paid in, you know, Mike's Way, Jersey Mike subs, eh? Oh, man, that's funny.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Now, I know you release on a lot of different platforms. Now, you kind of stopped your TikTok grind, which I'm a little upset with you, to be honest with you, you know, but you were doing really good on that TikTok platform, and a lot of the TikToks you released were some of my favorites. But I assume you've had your fair share of haters throughout the years. You know, you don't really release on TikTok, so you might not get a lot of haters in your Twitch chat, but have you had your fair share of haters throughout the years? Maybe people that doubted you?
Definitely. But haters don't really they don't really bother me too much. You know, the thing about haters is you always have them. There's just, it's inevitable, but they play an important role. You know, I like to prove people wrong. I like to shut people up. You know, if somebody's hating on me and I'm having a good time, it just makes me even more mad, you know? And I'm just like, man, like, instead of using that energy to be mad at somebody that you barely even know, like, go do something. You know what I mean? It's like, just go do something, bro. Like, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But like, don't be mad at me when shit don't work out for you because you would rather hate on somebody and then focus on your.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So many haters do that, bro. They focus on somebody so much that they forget about their own needs. You know, like. You're hating on me for playing Tarkov for a living, but like, brother, you got emotional issues. You know, you got relationship issues. Like, you're wondering why I play Tarkov. You should be focused on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
right.
The hard
and it's
truth,
like,
right?
For me, it's like, you know, I don't let that shit bother me because I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't
for sure
change anything, you know, like, you know, you could come in here and say, you know, you're an idiot for playing Tarkov. You can come in here and say that my nose is big. You know, I make fun of that all the time. My head's big, you know, you can say all of that. But the reality is I'm happy, you know, so it can't, how can it bother me if I'm happy, you know?
It's just, I told a person the other day, TikTok has been really getting them under my skin. Like, I've been getting like, probably
a lot of nerds on TikTok.
Probably 30 or 40 haters a day on my TikTok live. I'm thinking about not even having the chat up. Like, it's that bad. And I had a guy come in the other day and he said, how do you live with your life? Or he was like, how do you live with your life knowing you play video games for a living? And I said, I would rather have no life and be doing nothing with my life than be like you hating on me on the fucking internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather have nothing. I would rather be in the fucking woods homeless as shit than be somebody like that. You know, how do you live? Like, I would rather be happy, homeless, than rich and sad. Does that make sense? I'm not like, I don't know if that's a bad take. Like, money gets you somewhere, but I would rather have a nice small house, you know, maybe a family, maybe not. Like, I just want to be happy, right? Like, yeah, I can have all these subs and I can have all these followers and all these people online and I can have, you know, so many likes on TikTok. But if I'm not a good person at the end of the day, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm a firm believer in that.
No, 100%. And like, I agree with that. You know, like, I could never, like, there's some streamers that I watch, not even really watch per se, but sometimes I see it trending on Twitter, stuff like that. And it's very hard for me now. Like, even if I don't agree with some of the shit that they do, it's very hard for me to just hate them. Hate on them.
It really is.
You know, it's like I understand, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I would never like hate on another streamer just because they're doing content that I don't like, or the content that I would never do. Yeah. You know, they're doing pretty well. So it's like even if I were to hate on them, what would it do? It wouldn't do anything.
It would just give them more.
They're still gonna do what they're gonna do. Right. They're still gonna do what they're gonna do. So it's just like, I'm not one to bring that negative energy in there, because it's just, you know, it's like what they say. If nobody hating on you is doing better than you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. People that try to bring you down are already down below you. That's a good one.
Like, so it's like, why am I even worried about? Why am I even worried about it? Like,
no, exactly.
I don't really get a lot of trolls because I just shut it down. Like, you come in here, I will make you sound stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna. There's nothing that you can say. Like, I had somebody a long time ago came into my stream, and he was making fun of my viewer count. I have like 45 viewers.
Yeah, the worst type of people.
I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, what are you trying to get done here? Like, what's the goal? If the goal is to upset me, it'll never happen. You just can't do it. It is impossible to do. You can sit and make fun of me all you want to. I'm not an insecure person. I'm not gonna go write my journal about, you know, what this man said to me. I just brush that shit off and keep it moving. You know what I mean? It's like I told you, one person hates you, there's 5 people that like you. So fuck the haters, you know? Keep hating. I'm chilling.
I agree with you on that.
Know that.
I agree with you on that, man, because it actually goes into our next question. You know, when I think of you, Arsyn, I think of you as a person that's very laid back. You know, you take one day at a time, right? Every day is day one. You know, like you just get it started. You do your work. You do whatever you need to get done. You just take it one day at a time. Do you think that's how you are as a creator too? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, there are some times where you lock in and you focus up and you get shit done. But the best thing is, like, you know, I went through a kind of an annoying health scare at the end of 2020, in the start of 2021. I think that's right. Yeah. And what I learned from that whole debacle is there's a lot of things that you just can't change, and a lot of things that you can't control.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of things you can change and you can control. So that mindset, basically, whenever I'm stressed out about something, we figure out, okay, is there something I can do about this? If not, then there's nothing to do. If there's something I can do about it, then let's do something about it. You know?
I agree with that.
And that mindset is like, it helped me because I suffered from like anxiety and panic attacks and stuff like that, stress. So now I can kind of calm myself down if it's out of my control, because it doesn't make sense for me to be upset about something that I can't control.
Sure.
Like, my power goes out, I can't stream. It's like, okay, but it's not on me. So let's chill and wait for the power to come back on. Or if it's something that I can do, it's like, okay, let me fix it then, so we're not stuck here.
Very healthy mindset.
That's kind of like my mindset, and I try not to let stuff bother me that shouldn't bother me. You know,
that's good.
And I'm a very you know, open-minded person. You know, I'm not somebody that's like, you know, my opinion is just the number one thing, and if you don't agree with it, then you just, you know, like, I'm very open-minded. I would hear your side, you know, and I would.
You still don't hear my side about Steelers, though. What is that all about?
I mean, that's just, listen, bro. There's facts and then there's opinions. All right. The fact is, Steelers ain't shit. That's a fact.
All right. We won't get off on too much of a tangent. Oh no, but I fully agree with that, man. Control what you can control, and sometimes you can't control it. Don't worry about it, right? That's a good mindset to live in, you know? Now, I do want to get into a very deep question in regards to content creation, and it's a perfect timing because I think we just got a little deep in some of the questions that we just had there. If something was to happen tomorrow, you know, what I say to myself, you know, if something happened to me, if I was to pass away, what would I want to be remembered for? And I want to ask you that. Like, what would you want to be remembered for if you were to, something happened tomorrow?
Well, I want to be remembered for, I want the first thing that people to say about me was, man, that man's head would get too damn big and we would have to shut him down because he was just running his mouth, you know. I'm being trolled in this damn chat right now. Don't think I ain't reading it now. I'm reading it.
They're haters, man. You know, that's all they are, dude. Don't worry about it.
You know, they really are. But yeah, I just want to be remembered as, like, you know, a guy that was pretty chill. You know, a guy that was, you know, funny. The guy that could sing. You know, I mean, I'm already a Rivals champion. That's cemented. That legacy is cemented. You know. So let's not get it twisted. But yeah, I just, you know, I want to be remembered as like the cool, chill guy, you know, that didn't take life too seriously, that was just laid back and always a good time, always brought the energy, rarely in a bad mood. Sometimes I am in a bad mood.
I am too. But I mean, Tarkov does it to us, man. That's all it is.
Tarkov is a tough game right now. Tough game.
It really is. We've had a lot of moments with Tarkov throughout the years, which is actually perfect in going into the next subject. Now, we are going to be doing something similar to where I'm going to be streaming. This is called the throwback section. Now, I did send you the script before, and I wanted you to look over and, you know, make sure it's all right. Hopefully, you didn't look at any of this stuff. This is going to be the throwback section, and this is
not.
Yeah, you better not. All right, so we're going to be sharing a banger tweet for the first one here today. Let me open this up for you. Let me open this up for you.
I have no idea what he's about to pull up right now.
Hold on. We're going to be looking at this tweet here. Arsyn on 8:24 p.m. at December 21st, 2020. Someone start a podcast and invite me to it. Okay, thanks. So we're only 3 years late, but I think we got it. I think we're here.
Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know?
I just had to pull that up, dude. I found that from 3 years ago, bro. 3 years ago, or around 3 years.
Damn,
he
Genooo
said,
been searching.
Someone start a podcast, invite me to it. I'm here, Arsyn. All right, we are fucking here, buddy. That's funny that you mentioned that. I just wanted to bring that up. We are 3 years late, but don't worry too much about that. Now, going into this one, sorry about the blinding light. We also have another tweet here. All right. These flash drives owned me this wipe. This was also around 3 years ago. I gotta ask a question. Are flash drives fucking you this wipe, or you kind of found them?
They actually did. They actually did. Which crazy because when I sent that tweet, because I remember, that was back when you had to get the flash drives to get Friends from the West Part 1. Yeah, so you had to do that to unlock Peacekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And without those damn flash drives, you just could not progress. It's a little bit different now.
Yeah.
But back in those days, man, that was tough. And I sent that because the previous wipe, I found all my flash drives in the first rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that wipe, they just kept me down. It was
the
tough.
Saluas are always rough for me too. Are the Saluas bad for you too, or how does that work?
Saluas are normally bad. I normally gotta get the generator up and running and craft them. But this wipe, I actually fought Crack House day one, killed a couple players, and got all three of them. One raid.
That's nice. I got 2 in one raid, and then the last one took me 8 years, but we got it. We got it. I wanted to bring that up though. I saw this flash drive tweet, and with wipe just being around wipe, a few weeks ago, right? So I wanted to ask, flash drives owning you? It sounds like they have. Now, I do want to point out something about little football. Now, this says, how about them Eagles? Now, I didn't know you were an Eagles fan. You actually always say that you're a Chiefs fan and a Vikings fan. What's this tweet about?
Well, that was mainly a meme because
a meme from 5 years ago, by the way.
I'm not an Eagles fan. No,
are you? But
can't
are
stand
you?
the damn Eagles. I can't stand them.
You can't stand them, but you tweeted about them, Arsyn.
I'm not an Eagles fan. So 2017, that was the year. That was the year that they won the Super Bowl, right?
I don't know. I don't know what they won that year, but this was mid-season, brother. All right, don't pull this Super Bowl shit on me, Arsyn. This is mid-season.
Hold on. I know. But so the Vikings played really well that season, and the Eagles were playing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a hunch that we'd run into them motherfuckers in the playoffs. Okay. And that was. How about them Eagles? I honestly don't know if they won or lost, and I was trolling, but I am not an Eagles fan. Have been.
I did find another tweet, and I want to say it was around the same time. It said, I really need the Saints to lose tonight. And it was like a week before this, I believe. And it was the Falcons playing the Saints, and they did end up winning that game. I was going to bring that up, but are you a Falcons fan too, or was that like a fantasy thing?
That was I think it was a playoff seeding thing.
Oh, okay.
So the Vikings, I think I needed the Saints to lose so the Vikings could go up. It could have been fantasy too, though, but I'm pretty sure it was a playoff seeding. I feel like that was. I also can't stand the Saints. I hate them. Like hate the Saints. Okay. Hate them.
Okay. I'm not gonna. Saints aren't the greatest teams. So
don't even get
me
started on them Eagles. Them Eagles, bro. I will go on a tangent right now about the Eagles. Don't. You're welcome.
That's funny.
You're welcome. You're welcome that the Chiefs beat them, because if the Chiefs don't beat them, do you know how insufferable those fans are? You're welcome.
All right. Well, moving away from tweets, I wanted to bring up one clip, and I find this clip absolutely hilarious. I do want to try and make this easier for audio viewers, people that are at home or listening on the way to work. So I'm going to turn on the audio for this one, but I thought it was an absolute hilarious clip. Now, I don't know if you remember this. This is actually you playing. Let me turn off the music real quick.
I remember this very well.
Let me just explain. You were playing Some Man, and you were playing Fall Guys. And let's see here. What's going on here?
He's so fucking annoying.
You on this wall map. Some man making noises, of course.
You fucking bitch! You fucking bitch!
That's a good clip. That's a great clip.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. I've never heard Some Man get mad.
Well, see, what really bothers me about this is I had no intention of messing with him. He was messing with me. I had enough of it. So
I mean,
now
he
you're
was
getting thrown out.
pulling you. He was
You should have
pulling
stayed
you.
in your lane, son, man. Should have stayed in your lane.
Oh,
And this,
man.
dude, I'm telling you, man, this was just the one that he got in. He was trying to sabotage me on all the maps that he's in. I had enough of it. Bye, son, man.
I had to bring it up, dude. I saw that clip. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, man. It was so fucking funny. I'm glad we could do that. Now, that was the throwback section, so I hope you enjoyed that. I appreciate you looking through those.
That was pretty
and,
good.
it was fun finding tweets for you, I must admit. Also, your name on Twitch used to be Side or something like that. Side TV. Very cool Arsyn lore that I actually learned there. But we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go turn this back up here. All right. Now I should mention that with the throwback section, I wanted to ask one more question. Okay. With streaming, are there any games that you wish you hopped on sooner? Like I know a lot of people look back at like PUBG or Fortnite and be like, "Yo, I wish I played that." You know, is there like that for you? Like, is that like that for you?
Not really. You
Not
know,
really?
in regards to PUBG, Counter-Strike, League, WoW, any of those games that I played, I was never really good enough for it to matter.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like I never played Fortnite, and I'm glad that I never played Fortnite. Thank God. Never even installed it. PUBG I was super into, but you know, games like that, like I mean, to be honest, I played every game before it was popular. I played WoW before it was popular. I played League before it was popular. I played well, not necessarily Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike was popular a long time ago, you know. But as far as streaming those games, I have zero interest in streaming those games. Tarkov was the one, and Tarkov is what I did. So I'm glad that I was on that train, because Tarkov, I think, was the right game to stream. I think Tarkov, on all those games I mentioned, is the best game to stream.
It's so good. The
It's
community's
so good. Why?
great.
Because there's downtime. You can talk to chat. You know, you're not 100% lasered in focused the whole time. It's not resident sleeper content like WoW is. And you know, the community's great. Obviously, there's no rank. You know, you don't have different groups of people that are all separated because of a rank. For some reason, people get hung up on that. So I think that matters. Yes, Tarkov was the perfect game, and so I don't really.
Yeah, you hit it perfectly. You hit it perfectly. You know, when Tarkov came out. Is there anyone you wish you knew sooner in the field? Like, I know you're very good friends with some man. Now, you've known him for a while. So I would say him for you, but is there anybody else that you wish you knew sooner? You know, you wish you played with when you first started Tarkov, or content creation, or whatever it may be. Is there anybody you wish you knew sooner?
The first one that comes to mind is actually Reef.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because, like, you know, I've met Reef a couple times, and that dude he's just a cool dude.
He really is.
He's just a cool dude. And there's another dude that I've seen in chat. His name is Steve Bro Chill. That dude, I wish I'd known him sooner as well.
Shout out Steve.
I just meshed with him, and I just, you know, wish I could have played like those early, like even you, Gino. I wish I could have played Counter-Strike with you back in those days.
We can redo it, bro. CS2's coming out, man.
That is true.
We
That
could
is true.
play
should,
it.
We should. Yeah.
Let me know.
That would be good. That'd be good. That'd be good. But yeah, those two immediately come to mind.
Nice.
Just because like I know like stuff that they played back in those days. I wish I could have played with them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, those are two good answers. I know Reef very well. I used to play with him, but he has that nocturnal sleep schedule, and I'm in bed when he's been going live. You know, I don't know if that's changed over the years, but me and Reef used to be really cool or really good friends. I still consider him a great friend, but he just goes live at the crack ass at dawn, so I'm usually in bed sleeping my ass off. But he's a good dude.
I you know, his schedule is what it is. I personally like it because there's not really a lot of people on.
There isn't
at that time.
It's a perfect raid destination.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So yeah, I enjoy hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's a very good dude. I wanted to get in the life and mental health section. Now this is the section that very, 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 very deep questions. Now I should mention for you, all right? I had trouble finding some good questions for life and mental health for you because you don't share much in regards to your personal life, which is fine, right? Like, I think privacy is important as a creator. But I do want to ask, like I said, I'm going to try my best to ask you some very good questions. I want to touch in on the family again. They might not understand streaming, or they do understand streaming. Do they help you in times when you're low points mentally?
Yeah. 100%.
They're there?
Yeah, they're there. 100%. Like, you know, I was debating when I was moving whether or not I was going to stay in my home state, which is Minnesota.
Yeah.
I can't stand the cold. I'm kind of over the cold, and I wanted to move somewhere where it's not cold. But ultimately, I chose to stay because that's not enough. The cold is not enough.
I agree with that.
And my grandpa was also thinking about moving. I'm very close with him. Was also thinking about moving to a warmer destination. He usually spends his winter in Florida. I have family down there. So he usually stays down there throughout the winter months. But he decided that he was going to stay. And I was thinking about moving to Colorado. That was like the #1 destination because it's not like as cold as it is here. And obviously, you know, weed's legal and stuff like that. So that's a plus. And I was telling my mom this, and, you know, my mom, obviously, I'm very close to my mom too. She obviously had her concerns, but she wasn't going to stop me. And it turns out that if I had moved to Colorado, my mom and grandpa would have followed me. They would have.
Really?
And I didn't know that at the time.
Wow.
But I ultimately chose to stay because for me, like, I have friends I grew up with since 2nd grade. We all stayed. They're all here. Nobody left. And I hang out with them all the time. And the fam, you know, again, most of them stayed. So there was no reason for me to leave other than the cold. And I like my state. It's a nice state, you know. The cold keeps a lot of the bullshit out, though. You know,
really does.
It does. Like,
Mosquitoes.
There's more crazier people in the South, and there's more ridiculous creatures in the South, like, you know, spiders and snakes
scorpions
and all sorts
you know,
of lizard shit. Yeah. The cold keeps a lot of that stuff out.
That is true. That is true.
So there's some benefits there, but yeah, like that was they helped me a lot. You know, I bought a house, so if there's any house issues, grandpa, uncle, they're phone call away.
That's
you know?
awesome.
So
that's really cool. Now,
Definitely.
you mentioned that friends, you know, you're close to friends. Do you have any friends that kind of have your back in similar sense of like family? You know, if you're having a rough go, like,
man, let me tell you something right now about my friend group. I don't have to say nothing. They will hype me up.
Yes, the best friends.
I walk in there, they hype me up. Yo, that's Arsyn. They got Arsyn merch on. They're like, yo, that's that dude right there. You know, I don't have to say a word.
That's fucking sick, dude. That's so cool.
They just hype me up, man. Yeah,
that's so cool. It's always I assume they're the friends too that will also keep it real if they need to be real with you. You know, they're not the friends that are gonna be like, oh, you're doing great, Arsyn, when you're not doing great or something. You know, like they'll tell you how it is.
Right,
my gym buddies are like that. They're like, Gino, you need to wake the fuck up. I'm like, what are you talking about? Hey, I'm woke right now, dude. I woke up at 8:30, man. What do you mean I need to wake up? No, but those are always the best friends to have. The hype man, but also the ones that are gonna keep it real. You know,
friend with you for sure. Yeah.
I've been reading a book. This is kind of side note. It's called Good Life, Good Vibes, and it talks about the law of vibration and the law of attraction, and it goes basically on. It basically describes how when you vibe, or like your personality is a vibration in the world, right? And so you often attract great things when you have a higher vibration, right? When you have a higher vibration, you're more positive. You're a great dude, right? And when you surround it, there was one chapter that was dedicated towards this. It was just like, surround yourself with higher vibes. And I'm a firm believer that friends are huge for that. You know, you have friends that will be your hype man. That allows you to, you know, vibe at a higher pace. That allows you to be more positive, allows yourself to truly live life at a happier scale because you are surrounding yourself with great people. And I assume that's how you feel about your friends. You know, they're just great people. They hype you up. You know, they keep you sane in times that you're kind of low, right? Like that those are always the best friends. And I assume that's how it is for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, and our friend group is a very close friend group. You know, like I said, we all there's like 6 of us that are all really, really close. Like we grew up together. Like, you know, if I'm having an issue, make a phone call, they'll drop whatever they're doing and they'll show up.
Type,
you know, yeah, like it was they've been there through a lot of those moments.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, like I wouldn't trade them for the world. And it's hard to leave that.
Yeah,
you know?
it really
hard
is.
to leave that. So yeah.
It really is. I'm glad you mentioned that, man. I really do. Now, I know you love duos and trios, right? Has it helped you as a content creator? Like having friends to count on / distract you? Like, let's say, you know, Arsyn, I know for an example, when I'm having a bad day in Tarkov, sometimes my mods will hit me up and DMs and they'll be like, go ask Fudge to play or go ask this person to play. Does that help you? You know, having friends to like distract you. Like, let's say you're IRL, you're having a bad day, you hop on, you don't have anybody to play with, but then you ask your friends to play. I assume that helps you a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And there's always one guy that's always says yes to me, and I bless his heart, Steve Rochill. That dude. Steve. He's grown on me the last like year. You know, like he's like completely elevated to that, you know, A1 Day 1 status, you know. And the nice thing about Steve is like, you know, it's like you're talking about, like we vibe well, nobody's getting mad. You know, I kill him more than he kills me on accident. He's not mad at me. I feel so bad. You know, our communities mesh well with each other.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's just a good time. It's just a good time with Steve. And Steve played Tarkov when a lot of people had quit Tarkov. So it was hard to, you know, there wasn't really much folks around, especially on my schedule. So me and Steve started at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's never a scheduling issue with him. It's never, you know, I never have to worry about chat not liking him. I never have to worry about, you know, saying something that might offend him. Like it just works out pretty good. So
he's one of those
100%.
duos where you can go in the dorms and you go 3rd floor, he goes 2nd without even commenting that, you know, you go in 2nd, he goes in 3rd, you go up and just destroy dorms. You guys don't say a peep, you know? And then, Steve, how you doing? Just killed 3 down here. How you doing, Arsyn? I just killed 1. You know, like that's the type of duo that we love as content creators, man.
That's true.
The ones
but
that you don't have
it's
to
a
say.
little bit different. It's a little bit more chaotic.
He needs to work on his communication, huh? He needs
we both get bitbot to shit. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more chaotic than that.
Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that. I wish I had a Bitbot question. I do not, but Bitbot always gets you, it seems. It's hilarious to me.
It's tough. I be winning some of them now, though. I be getting them.
You do be. Yeah. That man's sub account always comes in here and asks me. I'm just like, sub, I know what you're going to do to me, man. You're going to get me killed, and I'm not going to be able to want to play Tarkov no more. You know, it's funny you mentioned that.
Sometimes that happens. I will say this though, like some Bitbot does get to me, but most of them, I'm just like, man, listen, you know, this is what it's there. Like it's so stupid. And although sometimes I do get mad, it is stupid to get mad. And I always feel bad if I make somebody feel bad for getting me killed, because that's never the goal, you know. It's there if you use it and I die, that's on, you know, why am I mad about it? So I always do my best, but man, I'm telling you what though, like Steve gets hit pretty bad too. So we're both just a bunch of idiots spinning in circles in dorms trying to fight, you know. So
I know what you didn't feel bad about was when I got timed out for a week. I don't know if you ever remember that. Somebody donated. Mo Jumba hit you with a what? Yeah, what was it? Some $500 donation. Timed me out for a fucking week. I was having a great time in that damn stream, Arsyn. And I just made fun of Mo Jumba, just a little like poke. You know, I poked a bear. And this dude just drops 500 bones to time me out for a week. And then somebody eventually...
It was actually $1,000 worth of bits. To time you out for a week.
That motherfucker, dude. I still do not, man. That still makes me a little upset. I had to talk in donations, bro. I had to talk in I donated $153 to Arsyn, $1 at a time because it was TTS. I was chatting in Arsyn's stream with that $1 donation TTS, bro. It was peak. And then somebody donated like $100 to get me out early. That was great, man. That was great. Every time I hop in there, man, they just time me out for shit that I don't even know what I do. You know, it's funny.
We're gonna have to show Genooo that fuck around and find out video. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because
that graph video,
fuck around and found out real quick now.
Listen, I just poked him once, man. What the hell, bro? Come on, now that's hilarious. Now, I know you live away from your own family, but do you feel like you balance family well? Like, I know with me, it's hard to balance family life and content creation, right? I either go to the movies with my mom or I'm doing a podcast, you know, and it's very hard to balance that. Do you feel like you balance that well?
I do. You know, obviously my family is very understanding if I can't make certain things because my stream schedule is what it is. You know, I stream from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, and that's like prime hours, right? So if I can't go to something specific, they understand, but I also will have to cancel a couple of streams just to make sure I'm present, you know, at a lot of those things. And I know a few times a month, a few times every couple months, I'll go to my grandpa's house on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's just me and him talking.
That's awesome.
You know, he went to culinary school. The man's a great chef, so he
be whipping
he's
the
great on everything that he does, honestly. Yeah. He's the type of dude that if he wants a table and he wants it specific, he just makes it. You know what I mean? He make a table. That's, you know,
so awesome.
Next time I go over there, I take a couple of pictures of the smoker / grill that he made. He just made it because he wanted it to be this way, so he just fucking made it. You know,
that's so awesome.
Like he's that guy. So I always try to go out and see him, and I know he appreciates it because, you know, he's got like 8 grandkids. Nobody sees him, you know, it's just me. And my mom goes to breakfast with him every week. So, it's important.
That's awesome.
As far as the rest of the family members, I hang out with my cousins a lot. They're kind of closer to my age. So it's, you know, we can go do like, you know, dumb shit together, but, the rest of them, I see them, you know, every Easter, Thanksgiving, birthday, stuff like that. Like I don't see them every day, but very consistent with them. Plus, we have a group chat, so.
That's awesome. It's always nice having that with family and stuff. You know, letting them know 100%. What you're up to. That's so awesome. Now, what do you personally do to like take a break from streaming? Like, I know you mentioned before you are I call it Marajahoochie, so I apologize. I know you're a Marajahoochie enjoyer, but what do you kind of do to get away from stream? You know, if you're having a bad day in Tarkov, you get off. What do you go do? You know, you go for drives? I know that Accord is looking nice as shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, we definitely go on the drives.
Nice. Minnesota back roads. You know, you run into scary monsters and moose and shit, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. No, so one thing that I did that helps is I'm a season ticket holder for the Minnesota Timberwolves, so I go to all their home games. Most of them, if it fits the stream schedule, and that helps with the mental part of like getting out of the house, because we work from home. This room gets really fucking boring after a while.
It does.
So it's nice to be able to get outside of the house for that. I have I live alone, so any friends want to come over at fucking midnight and jam and listen to music or watch shit, whatever, it's fine. That's another thing that I'll do.
That's awesome.
Invite people over and play beer pong. Very competitive beer pong.
Really? Okay.
I ain't losing. No, I'm a fucking beer pong god. All right, that is a fact.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, extremely competitive. $100 game competitive. You know what I mean?
$100?
$100, right?
Damn, bro. Okay.
It just listen. Throw $100 on it, you'll play better. If I lose, the homie gets $100. That's not the worst thing in the world.
That's
right?
a win-win. That's a win-win.
So, right. So it's not really an issue, but hey, I'm gonna take that 100 though. I'm gonna get that. So that's also a win. But so we do that, and yeah, like I said, even going like my grandpa's house, do that. All that stuff kind of helps with so that the bad days just aren't really that bad.
It's always good to have those types of things.
Yeah, I know a lot of streamer friends kind of don't really have like the real life friends.
Yeah, I
I've
struggle with
that.
it a little bit. Yeah,
and it's just you realize how lucky you are in moments like that, which is like another reason why I'm glad I didn't leave. But yeah, like if I'm by myself, we'll dabble with the devil's lettuce and maybe a couple edibles and watch a show.
Any favorite shows?
So I watch a show. It's a debate sports show. It's called First Take. I'm sure people have heard of it.
Oh yeah, with
love that show.
What is his name? How am I forgetting it?
Stephen A.
Stephen A. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
He's funny.
He's funny. He's also annoying, but
he's also
funny.
delusional
I love the
sometimes.
dude.
I'll tell you what.
He can be a little bit rough sometimes, but it's I watch that, and I like watching it because I keep up to date on sports stuff if I miss something. But other shows, like I've been watching Prehistoric Planet, which is like Planet Earth, but with dinosaurs. It's actually well done. It's on Apple TV. Really well done. Would recommend it if you're into dinosaurs, whatever, whatnot. Other than that, maybe just a show like Sons of Anarchy or typical shows like that. Get lost in that. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, shows are a good way to kind of pass time, especially after stream and stuff. You just want to lay down, have a Big Mac or some shit, and just lay there.
Big Mac.
I don't know, man.
I'm more of a Chipotle guy.
Yeah. Well, do you DoorDash Chipotle? This is a side question.
Sometimes I have to.
That's not good, dude. They always give me like 1/3 of a bowl. They give me like a grain of rice and then 2 pieces of steak.
Sometimes it's like that. However, I'm a regular. They know me.
Okay, they better.
They know me.
They bet you're Arsyn, man. I mean, your friends probably go in with your merch and shit. Like this is my friend. You better give him some shit.
Funny story. My mom, she used to work. Her second job was at a clothing store, and she would always stop at this Arby's beforehand, and she got to know the manager at this Arby's, and she told the manager about me, and like the streaming stuff and Twitch stuff, and so I went there once and became friends with this manager instantly. So now, I mean, he'll hit me up. He's like, "Yo, man, it's been a minute. I got free beef and cheddars for you if you come up." And I'm like, "All right." And every time I go in there, he talks to his employees. He's like, "That is Twitch Rivals champion Tarkov." He just hyping me up.
I don't know if he's saying all that. Is he? Is he saying all that?
He says all that. 100%.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's so 100%. Awesome. It's good to have people like that, especially out in public. I've never been recognized, but I one day, man, I have a feeling I'm gonna go into the gym. Somebody's doing some bicep curls and shit, and they drop their weights on the ground, look me in my eyes, and like, "Are you Genooo?" And I'm gonna be like, "No." I'm not, dude. I don't know what to fucking say, man. Like, oh man.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get that at TwitchCon. You're gonna have people come up to you.
Are you going to TwitchCon? You're going to TwitchCon, right?
No, I decided I'm not going.
Arsyn, man, are you fucking serious?
I'm kidding. I'm going to TwitchCon, bro.
You better be, bro. Dude, you're one of the top 3 that I want to meet, man.
I'm going, dude.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm going to have some drinks with you, bro. It's going to be a fucking blast. I'm so excited. Now, back to content creation. What are some of the things that you struggle with? You know, for example, I brought up some common ones. Releasing on different platforms. I struggle with the feeling of failure and imposter syndrome a lot. So if you don't know what imposter syndrome, it just basically means that you don't feel like you deserve what you have. And I struggle with that a lot. The feeling of maybe not doing enough with content creation. Is there anything that you struggle with in content creation, or is it, you know, one day at a time type thing for you?
Definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, and that's part of like the mental issues with streaming. A lot of the negatives that come with streaming that people just don't know about, right? And for me, it's like, you know, Tarkov is nice, but it's like, you know, the content in Tarkov is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. You know, I struggle with that. I mean, I don't know. I could obviously be better at posting stuff, but sometimes I just don't really see the point in Tarkov stuff.
No, I respect
because Tarkov
that.
it is what it is, you know. Definitely struggle with that for sure. We got to figure out what's next. And you know, I have a very powerful tool. A lot of people give me a lot of compliments on my voice. So
voice acting.
I have to use that in some way, shape, or form. And even podcasts are dope too. I like this stuff. So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say that's the thing I struggle with the most is like what's after Tarkov, what can we do other than Tarkov? And that's kind of where we're at right now. But for me, it's like, you know, fear is a big motivator.
Yeah,
you know,
it really is.
It's one of the biggest motivators you could ever do or ever have. And it's definitely, you know, kick my ass into gear at times.
Motivates you to get up out of bed, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't know when your next paycheck or what your next paycheck is going to look like. You know, it's so inconsistent, right? Like you don't know what it's going to look like. Motivates me sometimes, you know. I don't look at the money side of things as much as, you know, probably other streamers do, but it motivates me sometimes. You know, if I see that I'm struggling one month, it really motivates me to get up out of bed and, you know, get the fucking work, right? Now, it's not talked about a lot, you know, self-discipline as a streamer, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I try not to say that my job is harder by any means to anybody. But I do think that it's very hard for streamers, especially, to be self-disciplined. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of people in here, a lot of people watching right now, they have bosses. You know, they have people that tell them to get in the work or you're going to be fired. Streamers, we're our own boss. And yeah, don't get us wrong. It's nice creating our own schedule and stuff like that. But man, is it rough sometimes realizing that I have to get up today, but what if, like, if I have the feeling of being comfortable in my bed, I want to stay there because nobody's telling me to get my ass up. I might get a message from Fish or something and like, this motherfucker, dude, he's late again or whatever. Like, I might get that, but it's not going to motivate me to get up, right? And then that's not talked about a lot in streaming. It's the self-discipline it takes, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Really?
And I feel like, again, that's like one of those things that people don't really understand about it. Like, there's going to be times where you get up and stream and it's going to be a shit day and you're just going to have to power through it.
Yep.
There's going to be times where nobody's going to be talking in chat. There's going to be times where, you know, you have really high highs and then really low lows. Can you deal with the low lows after the high highs?
Yep.
Because it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yep.
And again, like I tell myself, this is how I view it. There's a lot of people in the world working a job that they hate, but they have to do it because there's no other choice.
Society, you know?
And anytime I get to that point where I'm like, I really don't want to stream right now. I really don't want to play this game right now. It's like, you have to just do it anyway because, you know what I mean? Everybody else is. So, you know, what are you going to do? You have, there is no, in my opinion, there is no other choice. And there's sometimes where there's, you know, days where, yeah, if you don't feel like streaming, you just be like, all right, I'm taking the day off. I'm sorry. You know, I'm going to go do something else right today. But you can't make a habit of that, you know. You have to push through those days that you don't feel like doing it. And the nice thing about it is, like, I'm a mode person. So what I mean by that is, if I wake up and I start my day off in a very active mode, it's very hard for me to not be active. You know, if I start the day off in a chill mode, it's very hard for me to be unchill. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
But when I get on stream, the entertainer mode comes out. I'm telling you right now that I can't tell you how many times I'm literally about to go live. Everything is set up, right? And I'm sitting here just like this, just like a million things I'd rather be doing than streaming this game right now. And I'm just like sitting here, just like
$1 million, dog. That's a low number, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm just like, there's so much other things I'd rather be doing. And then I look at the time. It's like, 4 o'clock. It's coming up. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's go do this. And I click to go live. And as soon as I do that, a flip switches.
Yep.
And
I know what you're talking about.
I'm no longer in that like super sad, don't want to do this mode. Like, I'm here. I'm present. Like, I want to be here. I'm present. People come into the chat. How you doing, Arsyn? What's going on? And we go. And it's like, it was, a really good freaking stream, and it's like, I have no issues with that at all. Like, I'm telling you, it happens a lot where I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then I do it. I'm like, this was the best stream ever. So, that's just how it is for me.
I don't mean to look at the monetary side of things, but do you ever notice that the streams that you don't want to go live for, or the streams that like you don't even, for example, I've been doing some evening streams here and there. And there's some evenings that I get home from the gym, I'm kind of sad. I'm just didn't hit a PR today. Like, I don't know if I want to go live today. I'm thinking about posting in my Discord. I'm not going to go live, but I go live anyway. Some of the best days that I've ever had streaming are those days that I force myself, get myself online. And if we're talking monetary, like financially, some of the best financial days that I've ever had in streaming are the days that I didn't really want to fucking do it. And I'll tell you what, as much as I would love to sit here and say, money isn't everything, it truly isn't. But at some point, when you go live on a bad day and you see 50 subs thrown in your face, you're like, damn. Like,
oh, yeah.
That is motivating.
Right.
That shit gets you out of the rut. That. People choose to spend money on my dumbass. People choose to spend money on yourself, Arsyn, right? Like, the fact that people do that is just so inspiring to me. Their hard-earned money that they're working, whatever job that they do, construction, labor work, whatever it may be, man, it's so inspiring to see people financially support you. And it's really, really cool. Now, I know we've talked about the future a little bit. You mentioned something about your voice. I do want to bring into a new subject to the podcast. I did want to do the future of Arsyn. So anything big coming up that you're excited for? Plan on branching out to other games? Any other games coming up? Like, is there anything that you have coming up for the future?
Well, I'll say this.
Okay.
There was a point in time recently where, and I don't it's like you said earlier, I'm very private about stuff because I don't want to come off the wrong way. I feel like I struggle a lot, but I don't really talk about it amongst the community because I'm not somebody that likes to show any weakness. I also don't like to bring the vibe down. So I don't really talk about a lot of that stuff. But there was a moment recently where I was really, really considering stopping streaming.
Really?
Like, it got really close. Nobody knows this, right? But I got really close. And I had a moment where I was like, I realized that I just don't want to quit. Like, I just don't want to, because I enjoy it too much. So with that being said, stuff will change. Tarkov, we'll still play Tarkov, obviously. Can't really give that up until it dies because I actually really do enjoy the game and it works. And, there's still a lot of us playing it. So it's like, a lot of us are still around. So it's like, it's still a pretty good game. But yeah, like, just this past wipe that went for 7 months, I was dabbling in some other games and it was fun. definitely. I'm not really one for solo player games. I'm too competitive for a solo player game, but I dabbled in some solo player games, and I actually had a lot of fun playing them. You know, talking to chat.
That's awesome.
It's like you're not even solo. You know, it's like you're solo, but you're talking to chat.
It makes you feel less alone for sure.
Definitely. So we're gonna dabble into some content outside of Tarkov.
Let's go. It's always healthy.
Also, I've been talking to some real life friends. They kind of want to get on for a real life stream, so we'll probably do that so the community can meet the fucking idiots to hang out with.
That's fair.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of
awesome.
stuff. We got a lot of stuff going.
I don't know how much it means, Arsyn, but the fact that I've seen maybe 10 or probably 20 people by now stop by from your stream, and the fact that they have come to another stream to watch you on a fucking podcast. I know you just mentioned that you were thinking about stopping streaming, but look at all the motherfuckers in this chat, bro.
I know.
Like, that should motivate you, know? Like, that brings a smile to my face knowing that all these guys came here to, like, genuinely support you, dog. And I don't know how much that means to you, but man, like, they're here for you, dog. That's what the fact that you thought about that. Me, dude. Like, we fucking love you, Arsyn. So I'm glad you kept going, dog. And you know, I'm always here if you ever need me, dog. You know that.
I appreciate that. You know, look at all those nerds in there. Look at them,
man. They all the emotes and stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, they definitely. They got me through a lot of stuff. I get a lot of messages from people saying your content got me through a lot of stuff. Well, it's two-way street. They really. They have done more for me than I've done for them, and that's a fact.
There are so many great people in your community. Every streamer that I have interviewed so far has just a wonderful community, and it just goes to show you, like I said earlier, you know, it's you attract what you reflect, and you're just a good dude, Arsyn. Now, that is the outro, so I wanted to say thank you for being on the podcast, Arsyn. Now, we aren't just done just yet, but I did want to say thank you. Start off and be honest with you. Thank you for being on the podcast. This is the 4th episode, by the way. It will be uploaded on all platforms. So, chat, if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched the whole thing, you can watch it on Spotify, YouTube, all of those main platforms. Now, I do want to get to chat questions. Now, I heard one earlier by Dad Life. He mentioned the lawnmower. Is there a story behind the lawnmower here, or what's...
Dad Life. Hell yeah. I bought a house. And that comes with mowing the lawn now. I used to live in a townhome where I didn't have to do all that. So I was very much a noob at mowing my lawn, and we definitely fucked up. I remember the first time that I mowed my lawn, there was like little mohawks of grass in the fucking lawn because I missed it, right? We've gotten much better since then.
Okay, right?
Great. I was getting made fun of. My neighbors were making fun of me, by the way. It's all good, though. But we've gotten better since then, and that was back when I had a push mower, and that was a year ago now. My God, crazy. But anyway, this year, at the start of this year in spring, when we have to start mowing again, I was debating whether or not I was gonna get a rider. And after using the pusher for a couple times, I'm like, it just takes too long.
It does. It really does.
I'm just exhausted. So I went and bought a rider mower last week from a family friend at a huge discount. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And I tested it out, and man, it's just so much fun, bro.
Dude,
like you just riding around your mower, and you got drink in one hand, you got your headphones in, you just driving around mowing this grass,
bro.
Oh,
you've met dadhood, Arsyn, man. You want to? I don't mean to sidetrack here. I've been thinking about getting a smoker. Like, brother, I'm 21 years old. Like, what's next? I'm 21 years old, man. I don't need freaking New Balances. You feel me? I don't need this shit yet. All right? I'm still on my Yeezy train. My NMDs, man. Like, come on. I'm not ready for the New Balances. I'm not ready for the dad life. But that's funny you mentioned that. I feel like that's a part of dadhood, is looking at other people's, lawns and stuff. And wow, that's very well.
Yeah, lawn care is definitely a priority next year for sure. Especially in my neighborhood. You don't want to be that guy.
That's awesome. I did want to. There was another question that I wanted to ask. the little fur ball in the back there. What's his name? I know you have a cat there. I've seen him a few times throughout the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Willow.
Willow.
She's a tortie. I love that cat so much. You know, like that cat. When I bought her, I originally said no. I didn't want another cat. You know, I was coming off a lost cat previously. I just didn't want to deal with the that loss again. Yeah. And while I was walking out of the little room there, it's glass, so you can see through it. I looked back, and she's looking at me with them damn eyes, and I was just like, oh, fuck. I'm gonna buy this damn cat. It was the best thing I ever did. That cat is splendid.
Oh, that's so cute, man. That's so fucking cute. That's a good story. I wish she understood English so that she could hear that story, but that's fucking sick, man. I also got a question. Are you gonna take a nap after this?
Nope.
You saying on for it? I mean, all right, you take a sip of coffee. That's coffee, baby. That's fucking coffee. Let's go. I don't see any other questions. Chat, once again, if you guys have any questions for Arsyn, feel free. We usually try and keep this podcast around like 1 hour and 30 to like 2 hours and 15. So we're at perfect pace right now. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Oh yeah, are you gonna win the next Twitch Rivals? No, you know what? I don't think. I'm trying at Twitch Rivals, so I don't see you win. You know what I'm saying? I might stream snipe you. Don't let them hear me say that.
You know, the thing about Twitch Rivals, that was back in 2021 when I was motivated and was ready to compete Tarkov. I've kind of lost that competitive drive with this game.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm such a competitive person that without it, it's just, I feel like I'm wasting my time. And I feel like as it pertains to right now, if Twitch Rivals was tomorrow, I don't think I would, do that to a team. I wouldn't be there,
I get that.
So if I'm doing something like that, I'm trying to win. So if I'm not in that mindset, I don't want to waste people's time.
Respect that.
I don't know.
I respect that. I got another question. Would you date another streamer? That's kind of a completely different of what we just talked about. But would you date another streamer? I mean, that's a good question.
I mean,
you want me to go first
I feel
before
like it is possible, but it's super like, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
But it's something that it would have to really be something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so there are some pros and cons to that. Like, yeah, you're streaming, all right? That obviously both parties know what streaming, means. You don't have to explain what you're doing. You don't have to explain why you're doing it, which matters. But, at the same time, if you date somebody like that and like communities become together and stuff like that, and all of a sudden it doesn't work out for whatever reason, that could be kind of annoying, to have to deal with. Plus like, some stuff, like if you were to date somebody that's not really a part of the streaming world, I feel like you'd have to take more time off streaming.
Yeah.
But if something were to happen there, it doesn't directly affect your business, right? Because they weren't really a part of
no, 100%.
Your stream. So I'm very, very what's the word? It's not scared. But it's
cautious.
Just something.
You're cautious. Is the
right,
probably
cautious.
I get that 100%. I mean, I mean, I've had my experiences, that's for sure. But when it regards to like dating other people, I've always said that I think the one that I will probably eventually wife up is the girl that understands that video games are my job and I play them as a job. I don't think I can date a girl that will not let me play video games because that's my job gone, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be a standard. That's got to be a standard. And in regards to the like, I I want a girl that makes me go outside after like, if I had a rough day in Tarkov, you want to go for a walk? You know, like, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, definitely. I'm out there. You know, you want to go for a drive and listen to music? Like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I fucking want, man. That's what I fucking want. No, I 100% agree with you there. It's a very hard slope as a streamer, you know, especially with what we do, you know, our private life, right? Like, if shit was to hit the fan, you never know what's gonna happen, right? So
right,
it's just one of those things. That's definitely a interesting question to ask. What is your end goal? That's a good question.
End goal?
Yeah,
in regards
like
to what?
In regards to life. Like, you want to retire at 50 years. I don't know. You're on the verge of retiring at what, 35? And then
man, you know, the end goal is honestly, it's just staying happy. You know,
that's respectable, bro.
That's the goal, no matter what it is. Because, like, in my opinion, being happy is a lot more better than being upset or sad. And the reality is you could have everything that you just mentioned. You could have a good job, wife, kids, whatever, and still be unhappy. So the goal is just to be happy, you know, with whatever I end up doing. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I like that. I like that question. We'll get the one final question. I appreciate the question, Yami. Zachy says about that. You know, what are we thinking? Small ranch with some animals like chickens and goats, and, you know, live in retirement with chickens and goats and shit to take care of.
Man, you have to definitely not.
Come on, man. That's the life,
I'm not a farmer, bro.
Dude,
my family's a bunch of farmers. I'm not.
Listen,
I'm not a farmer,
I would
bro.
go out to a cabin and raise some goats and shit, man. Like, that would be sick.
I mean, I'll go to a cabin and go fishing. I do that. I'm not raising no goats. I'm not raising chickens.
I need to come up there and visit you, Arsyn. You know that? We'll go fishing.
We got a lot of fishing up here.
Let's fucking go. Oh, man.
I'm not a farmer. I'm not doing that.
Oh, God. Listen, I would love some goats and chickens and shit. You know, fish is right. I've never done manual labor in my life. I mean, I worked with my dad a little bit, but it wasn't anything compared to what these motherfuckers doing nowadays.
Goats would die.
Man,
that's funny.
I don't know. I just feel like goats would be great. I definitely don't know if I would be able to take care of them to the best of my ability, but I'd try.
I mean, you know, Gino, I feel like you could do it. I got more faith in you than Saint does. That's for sure. It's just not,
that's saying a lot, considering
me.
Saint always has faith in me, man. What is it? Hold on, man. Hold on, dude. They might be on to something. Maybe I don't want baby goats. I don't know. That's funny as fuck. Well, Arsyn, thank you again, man, for being on the podcast. I wanna bring up one last time. Where can we find you? Platform, schedule. Where are you at?
ArsynTV on Twitch, 4 p.m. Central. I've been getting on a little bit earlier with the wipe, so. You know, once we kind of fall back into the schedule, it is, 4 p.m. to whenever, usually 10 Central. Right. Tuesday through Saturday. You take Sunday and Monday off. Football season's coming, so. You know. Also, real quick, the Chiefs are not losing game 1. That's going to be a smack. Detroit's going to get sent home. They're going to get hit with a reality check that they just not there yet.
I'll be honest, dude. If we're looking at training camp videos, them Chiefs are not looking good, bro. Have you seen that? Have you seen Kelsey, man? He's gotten into like 8 fights, bro. He's beefing with the whole team.
It's all good, bro. He just let them know who the alpha is. That's all. That's all.
I do think the Chiefs will win, if that's what you're asking me, but chat, it has some copium going on here.
Oh, it's them damn Lions fans. They got a little bit of that hope, but they lose every Thanksgiving. So
that's awesome, Arsyn. I appreciate it again, man. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, bro. Like I said, on all platforms here, bro. We're gonna be uploading this shit right after. I appreciate it again, Arsyn. Thanks for coming on, and I hope you enjoyed coffee.
I appreciate you having me. I'm sorry about this bright
light. You were all good.
Making people blind.
You are all good.
I hope you have me on again sometime.
Arsyn, I'd love to, bro. I've been trying to work on a scene with 3 people. So, like, me and 2 other people. So we might have to get you and some man on for a duo podcast, eh? Sound good to me?
I am down. I love this shit.
I appreciate you, Arsyn. Thank you, homie. I appreciate you hanging with me, dog.
Much love.
Much love, homie. Much love. Peace, peace, peace. All right, chat. You guys know the deal. Thank you guys for being here, man. Thanks for all of you guys hanging with me today. I would like to point out one thing, or 2 things, actually. Before we end the podcast, I would like to say, don't forget to check out the Coffee with Genooo Twitter. We just made it the other day. It's just called Coffee with Genooo with 1 O. It was too long for 3 O's, so I apologize about that. And there is now a new thing on Spotify called Support This Podcast. If you want to give me a monthly donation that actually I get 100% of, you can do that on the Spotify podcast. Just reminding you guys, it is new, so I figured I'd point it out. And any support would mean the world. It's not needed by any chance. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe and stay caffeinated. Peace.